Welcome back to Pastry Maestra. I'm Teresa and today I'm making puff pastry. We all know the fable called The Three Little Pigs, right? I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll huff and I'll puff and so on, the big bad wolf said many times, and what happened? He ended in the cauldron of boiling water. That's what. Well, in this video, no pigs or wolves will be hurt, but there is going to be some serious huffing and puffing because today we are making puff pastry. Now, let me tell you something about it. As usual in gastronomy, we can't be 100% sure about the origin and history of a dish, and that is also the case with the puff pastry. Puff pastry seems to be related to the Middle Eastern phyllo and is used in a similar manner to create layered pastries. Some sources ascribe it to the 17th century French painter and cook Claude Lorrain, but others think that the predecessor of today's puff pastry is a simple meal consisting of thin sheets of dough spread with olive oil from the medieval region of Muslim Spain. That is where Spain and Portugal are today. Interestingly enough, chef Domingo Hernández de Maceras, a head cook of the University of Salamanca, Spain, published in 1607 a book called Libro del Arte de Cocina, Book on the Art of Cooking, and there we can find a first known recipe for modern puff pastry, using butter or lard. Okay, so let's get back to huffing and puffing. First, you have to roll out your dough not once or twice, but 5 times. A few huffs and puffs there, I guess. Also, there will be some puffing in the oven when the butter in your puff meets the heat. And finally, when every nook and cranny of your kitchen is filled with divine smell of freshly baked puff pastry, you will wolf it down so fast that at the end, you will be huffing and puffing again, but this time in a good way. So, enough with the wordplay, let's get busy and make that puff pastry. As usual, the recipe is on my site, the link is down below. To make puff pastry, I've placed flour into a stand mixer fitted with hook attachment, and now I'll add salt, water and melted butter. I'll mix on medium speed for approximately 5 minutes. I'm gonna wrap the dough in plastic foil and put it in the fridge for about 10 minutes. Now I'm gonna prepare the butter. I will dust the counter with some flour, place the butter on the counter and sprinkle some more flour onto the butter. Then I'll take my rolling pin and beat the block of butter until I make a rectangle approximately 5 mm, which is about 1/4 inch thick. If your rolling pin starts to stick, don't hesitate to add more flour. My butter is ready now. I'm gonna roll my chilled dough into the shape of the rectangle that should be double the size of the one I made of the butter. I'm gonna place my butter in the center of the dough and wrap it around the butter in the shape of an envelope. The butter should be entirely wrapped in the dough. Then I'll carefully press the dough for a couple of times with the rolling pin and roll it gently into a long rectangle so the butter spreads evenly inside the dough. I will brush off the excess flour and fold the dough into thirds. This is called single turn. Then I'll wrap the dough in plastic foil and put it in the fridge for 15 to 20 minutes. For each turn, I'm gonna place my dough on the counter, open side facing me, and start rolling without rotating the dough. This is my second turn. I'll repeat rolling and turning the dough for 3 more times. Between each turn, the dough should rest in the fridge for 15 to 20 minutes. There, my puff pastry is done. I will chill the dough for at least 1 hour. Then I can make, for example, some cream horns or vanilla and strawberry millefeuille, Or maybe some almond and pear turnovers. The links for all the recipes are in the description below. I hope you'll have a great fun making these wonderful sweet treats. Enjoy!
Oh baby, you are so sweet, so delicious and yummy, so good to eat. I wanna lick you, feel your sweetness on my lips. Forever and ever, you'll stay on my hips.
I'm Teresa. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you want to stay in touch, follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and of course, visit my site where you can find elaborate posts with lots of pictures, additional information and recipes that follow my every video. Also, on my site you can download my free 365 pages ebook, The Pastry Chef, and maybe buy me a macaron. If you think that I've earned it. Now, before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That really helps a lot. Finally, and this is the most important thing, don't forget to create sweetness every day, because sweetness is happiness. See you in my next video. Bye!